Yeah, though. What up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode. On this episode, we're gonna watch a video from Vlad TV. It's BG Knockout. And if y'all don't know who BG Knockout is one of the original gangster rappers from the '90s. Probably most known for his appearance on Eazy-E's Real Motherfucking G's. And BG Knockout is been around from the '90s all the way to now, and it's interesting to see why he's not banging Crip no more. But let's get straight to the video. But y'all know how we do it. We're gonna watch the video together. I'm gonna pause it. We can talk about it down in the comments. If you ain't already, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Y'all know the demo. Let's get to it.
Larry Hoover, who's doing, I think, triple life or something like that in prison.
Yeah.
He's in ADX right now, and he's been there for 30 years.
Yeah.
He recently renounced his Gangster Disciples leadership from prison. He said, regardless, these people are apart from me and do what they do with zero encouragement or direction from me. To be clear, if I had any ability to influence them, I'd ask that they forget me and forsake the gang life forever. I have long since renounced my association with any and all criminal organizations and their membership. I am no longer a member, leader, or even an elder statesman of the Gangster Disciples. I want nothing to do with it now and forever.
I rock with that.
You like that?
I love that. Hell yeah, I love that. Because
Why is that?
Because, man, here's a guy who, he was once a part of something. He probably believed in it. And, he probably did all the shit he thought was right. And then it turns out not to be the right thing. You understand? So he's trying to redeem himself. Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. I don't think it's nothing wrong.
I don't think nothing wrong with that neither. Think about Larry Hoover and all the shit he's been through. These are different times and ages, and that man's been locked up. And I mean, all he wants is another chance at life. But it's unfortunate, those decisions that he made, and the organization that he's made, it's probably gonna make that impossible for him ever to make it back out to this side of the sunlight. But I think that's real growth and maturity right there, though. The man recognizes all that stuff is no good. It's terrible. It's bad. It ain't doing nothing for nobody nor the community like it was supposed to do. Now it's just nothing but bloodshed. And I mean, shit, now everybody getting up in age, 40, 50, 60 years old. These young motherfuckers just don't even have no idea. They have no idea. They lost in the sauce. None of this shit is what it's supposed to be.
That, you know what I'm saying? He been in jail for all these motherfucking years. And what did they really charge him with? Did they hit him with like a RICO or something too?
It was, hold on a second. Let me get this right. So here we go. So while in prison for murder in 1985, after a 17-year undercover investigation by the feds, he was indicted on drug conspiracy, extortion, and continue to engage in a criminal enterprise.
That's what they said.
So he was found guilty on all charges and basically given multiple life sentences. So basically, he was in prison for a murder, and they managed to convict him to continue, that he was still the leader of the Gangster Disciples and still,
how old was he when he went to jail?
He was, I'm sorry?
How old was he when he got convicted?
Well, he is 71 years old right now.
Damn, 71 years old. He's 71 years old, and this man is pleading that he has nothing to do with the Gangster Disciples, none of that life. He just want another chance, and they still won't give him. At 71 years old, they still see him as a threat, which, can kind of be seen both ways, right? But damn, 71, this man been in prison probably since I was born. I was born in '83. So you got to figure this man has seen nothing but the world evolve behind these concrete walls. God damn. That is a shell of a life. All these years. You think about how fast life be moving out here. It be moving fast. Daily, weekly, monthly. In there it be moving slow.
Damn.
So he is serving 6 life sentences.
Damn.
He was sentenced to 200 years for a 1973 murder.
200?
And in 1997, that's when he got the other conviction, the continuous, the CCE, continuous criminal enterprise.
Tell me this man look at that. That's crazy. Like, the courts just make a mockery out of your life. All those life sentences, like, this man got to die, come back, then do it again, die, come back, do it again. Yeah, I don't think there's too much hope for Larry Hoover getting out, man.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
6 life sentences.
That's crazy.
Sheesh.
Yeah, that sound like them just wanting to do away with him. You know what I mean? And then from what I've been hearing too, because I think I seen you interview 600. What's his name? 600 something.
600 Breezy.
Yeah, and he was talking about how a lot of people were still claiming Larry Hoover and like doing things in his name and saying shit like that. So he's probably suffered a lot from a lot of shit he really didn't have nothing to do with. It's just that he was the leader. You know what I mean? You know how that goes. Same thing with John Gotti. You know, if you're the leader of an organization and they want to dismantle that organization, they're going to go for the head so they can kill the body, which is understandable. But no, I totally agree, bro. I think it's an awesome thing of him renouncing that shit because it may encourage some other kids to denounce the shit, you know what I'm saying, before they end up in his situation.
What y'all think? Y'all tell me in the comments. You think by them giving them all them life sentences, you think that's really gonna deter the youth, a young man out there? You think they really taking that in consideration when they seeing all these other cats throwing up pitchforks and all this other shit, and they see that it's glamorized, and then ultimately in their neighborhood or their family, they've been birthed into it generation after generation. You think by Larry Hoover right here not being able to get out, knowing he got all these life sentences, you think that's really going to deter anybody? I really wonder.
So I commend him on that, and I hope they let him out.
I mean, would you ever denounce being a Crip?
Hell yeah. I denounce it right now. I denounce it right now, man. Like, I ain't with that shit, Vlad. I'm just like, one thing about it, that shit is in me. It's going to always be in me. But I'm living a different life. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was about that, I would be in Compton. You would be doing this interview from my neighborhood or some shit like that. Like, I'm not with that shit, man. Like, that shit is suicidal. You know what I'm saying? It's suicidal. It's treacherous. You know, a lot of times you get killed by your own friends before, you know what I'm saying, your enemy kill you. Like, why would I want to put myself and make myself a part of that? You know what I'm saying? The only thing about me is I happen to grow up in it. It wasn't nothing that I chose. Like, when I was born and I came of age, this is what my family was doing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a person that really didn't have a choice. You understand what I'm saying? To a degree.
That's a huge difference, isn't it? Because ultimately, a lot of people that you see nowadays, they choosing it, and a lot of them are choosing it later on in life. You know, people is getting involved in these gangs at the age of 19, 20. Some cats even 30. You know what I mean? Depending on where the scenario is, prison, outside. But what's crazy is he talk about it's treacherous and that it's suicidal. But ultimately, we all know this. And you young cats, I don't get how y'all don't get it because y'all play the game like it ain't nothing, but y'all don't really know shit anyway. You got a young life. You've only been alive 16 years, and out of them 16 years, you've only been off the porch 2 or 3, and you think the shit's cool, and you think it's fashionable, you think it's a fad, but man, y'all don't know how much y'all really wasting your life. Like, to go to jail at 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, like, man, that's your young life. Like, I'm going on 40 now. That's a big portion, you know what I mean, of life lived after 20. And you got to keep in mind, I did 11 and a half years myself. So think about it, like, man, like, what is you really signing up for? What is you really in this for? And what is the real purpose of you claiming this hood or the gangbang? Like, what do you really get out of it? And where is it really going to take you? Because ain't no winners in the streets. Nah, ain't no winners. Just all motherfucking losers.
To a degree, I didn't really have a choice. It was like, it was cool to do when I was a kid. I'm a 70s baby. It was cool to do in the 70s. It wasn't a lot. Everybody wasn't getting killed either. Wasn't no drive-by shootings. And, the worst thing, somebody got stabbed, hit with a bat. You know what I'm saying? So it was different when I grew up in it. And then when it got crazy, I was already a part of it type shit. But I wouldn't encourage nobody to do that. Like, you can't even have a quality life if you join a gang. Like,
yeah.
Y'all hear that? Y'all can't even have a quality life. A lot of y'all don't even care about no quality life. Y'all ain't even worried about that. Y'all living for the moment. Y'all living for these little parties, kickbacks, weed, drink, lean, motherfucking hang out with your homeboys and shit. But, that's just for the birds. If you really like hanging out with your homeboys, then you might as well go to prison. You're going to have 24 hours, 7 days a week, every month, every year to hang out with your homeboys. Me personally, I like to be around females. I like to have my choice of going inside, outside. I like the options of life. The quality of life is everything. That's what I hustle for. That's why I grind so hard, is because I want to have the best quality of life that I could possibly have. And ultimately, the streets ain't gonna lead you to that. That fast money ain't gonna get you there. No, that fast money gonna get you fast to that casket, fast to that penitentiary, fast to you losing your life. Just keep that in mind while y'all out there moving.
Like you limiting yourself. Like why would I tell any human being to do that? Like I'm cool. Like hell yeah, I'm cool on that shit.
No, that's very mature. I didn't expect you to renounce being a Crip.
Yeah, bro. Even though it's gonna always be a part of me, it's gonna always be associated with me. But I'm not with that shit. I wouldn't go against the rules of it or nothing like that, but I ain't with it.
Yeah. I mean, like, for example, like, Trady hasn't been on in a while, but me and him still talk. Like, I don't think Trady will ever renounce being a Crip.
That's on him. That's his choice.
Not to say he's not active or anything else like that, but I don't think he would ever renounce it. But you are actually renouncing it.
Yes, sir. You heard it here on Vlad TV.
On Vlad TV. Like, I don't think
Snoop
I don't
would care about that shit,
I don't think Snoop would ever renounce being a Crip.
Man, Snoop ain't never really, I ain't gonna even get into that part, but yeah.
So we pause it right there. He said Snoop ain't never really been no Crip. You gotta remember, he come from the days when him, Eazy-E, Gangsta Dre, not Gangsta Dre, BG Knockout and Gangsta Drayster. That's Gangsta Drayster was his partner that came out in the album, and they was dissing Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre. Remember, Dr. Dre came out of the World Class Wrecking Crew wearing makeup, lipstick, dancing, and all that shit, and then he turned into nothing but a G thing. So, of course, Snoop ain't never gonna denounce being a Crip. It played too much into his Hollywood image. You feel me? It played too much into his Hollywood persona of who he is. And that's the kicker nowadays. Gangs, Bloods, Crips, even hoods out of Chicago. It's all fashionable. You know what I mean? It's all notoriety. They're making too much money off that image and that persona. But here's a man that's evolved right here. BG Knockout, he done evolved, and he done seen it for what it really is. Like he said, he ain't gonna go against it, but at the same time, he ain't with it. That purpose and that cause ain't doing nothing for the person in it, let alone the community or the organization. It's just the blind leading the blind into that motherfucking ditch. But nowadays you talk to people and they be like, I ain't gang banging, but I'm representing. But yeah, you gonna catch the bullet just like anybody else. You know what I mean? You can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You know what I mean? You can't do that. You can't do that nowhere in life. Either you all the way in or you all the way out. I salute this brother right here though. Wise man.
I ain't with that shit. I ain't with it, Vlad. I ain't with it.
Well, bravo,
I don't
man.
want no
That's very
kids. I
mature.
don't want no kids to try to do what I did. Like, I'm not with that shit, bro. Like that shit. Cripping is, it's something, bro. It's a part of the LA culture. And like I said, it'll always be in me. But if I was about that, I'd be over there doing it. I'd be involved in the activities, and I ain't. You know what I mean? I'm just not. And I would never do it again. Good on that shit.
But let the YouTube streets tell it. All these cats on YouTube and the YouTube streets, they gang banging, but they gang banging from safe environments. It's easy to be a soldier when there ain't no war, right? These cats be on YouTube talking about they gang banging and this is they hood and they doing this and they done got older, but they still banging. But motherfucker, you sitting in the house all motherfucking day. You ain't going nowhere. You looking over your shoulder. You scared when you moving out and about because you got a little bit of clout from YouTube and the shit you done said. Shit ain't no way to live for a little bit of peanuts. I guess the motherfuckers don't even care about money nowadays. They care about the clout. Clout surely ain't worth it because when you go to that grave, when you go to that funeral, these motherfuckers ain't gonna be there. They ain't gonna think about you. They gonna move on to the next thing, hot and smoking. That's just how the entertainment industry works. But young brothers that's out there that's watching this stuff, wake up, open your eyes, man. There's so much more to life than that 10x6 cell. You feel me? Because that's where y'all headed with this bullshit y'all claiming. But that's just my humblest of opinions. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Drop y'all comments. I'm out to the next one.